Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the X-Men GAMBIT from MAFEX. Wait, nope, said that all wrong. Let's talk about the MAFEX X-Men GAMBIT. Yeah, it's the 90s GAMBIT. We've all been waiting a long time for this. It is one of those things where, you know, COVID, delays, MAFEX already delays. And then now we have it in hand. And I gotta say, it's nice as hell. So, if you have a certain aesthetic where it's going to be articulation over looks, this will break up some of this will break even, in my opinion, because what it does is it gives you literally like a nice a nice blend of both worlds, in my opinion. Like, you really are going to get that here, and I love everything about it. I know some people are going to have some issues with the soft goods jacket or some paint chip. Mine does have a paint chip in the chest area, and it's not as distracted as some people let it off to be. So, you know, let's go. You know what? Let's get into it. Let's get excited. So here we are with a slightly closer look. As you can see, I talked about that paint chip there. Boom, right there. But again, like, you're probably going to see it in my photos here and there, but it's just one of those things where I really this looks really, really good. Like, this is right out of some Jim Lee comics, right out of some Mark Silvestri stuff. This is the bang for your buck look from the 90s. You have your swept over hair, and it just, the only thing that it's crazy enough to like drive me wild is if we get like someone to make the long hair straight down on both sides, early 2000s objectiveless X-Men run with like the Chris Bachalo stuff when he had the death persona. Like, I would lose my mind with that stuff. So we just get like a really good overall look, and I'm just super excited for it. Our jacket here, personally, I think the only thing is missing is his trench coat, because for some reason you guys are jacket, trench coat, name weirdos about that. And so with our trench coat, I think the only thing that's missing is, just like our Medicom one, we have our piece here, which is going to be like your belt to like tie it around. But overall, I'm super happy with how this came out. It's wired all the way down through this end, and it's wired here as well too. So when you get a nice Marvel vs. Capcom flow for this, look at that. It holds beautifully. So you are really gonna, like I said, be able to do some super articulated stuff with this. You're like card slash, royal flush. Your Marvel vs. Capcom days are here for this figure. Like, I can't say enough about that. I really can't. Now, before we do anything else, let's jump into the amount of articulation that we're gonna get. As you can see, I can leave the jacket flowing, and ignore the ambulances in the background. This is New York. So articulation-wise, we can look down, as you can see here. We can look left. I'm sorry. Well, a different version of left, obviously. Left, right, up, down, down, up, down, A, B, start. And we can get expressive by tilting to the side. Now, when you tilt to this side, you want to be careful about your hair hitting your jacket, causing it to kind of bounce back or fight against it. So just be careful along the lines of that. Our collar is semi-adjustable, but, you know, Gambit always leaving the high collar. Articulation-wise, we're going to now take off our jacket, because even though we can get a T-pose with no problem and double joints, even with our jacket on, I want you guys to be able to see what's happening. So let's just remove our jacket. And this is really nice, because this is what I talked about with Hush, right? At this point in the comics, we knew what Remy looked like without his jacket. We had designs of him without his jacket as he wore his quote-unquote X-Men costume here with our armor plating. Whereas with Hush in the comic book at that point, we didn't know what was on under there, and there was no real reference art to go by. So here we have our butterfly joint. This allows us to go inward and stretch backwards. So that means when you do falling poses, things like that, getting hit, all that's going to look great. We can rotate all the way around. We have our bicep swivel. We are double jointed. So look at that. Delicious. We have a good backwards ab crunch. Forwards, it's pretty good. No, I was wrong. It's really good. Tilting to the side is also really done well. It's semi-tight on mine, so I'm tricking myself here as I'm jumping a little bit conclusions, and I don't like when I do that. But yeah, we have some excellent movement here. We have the drop-down method. It's going to be a little tight there, so please be careful. As you can see, with our drop-down, our leg can get about this far. Now, without dropping it down, if you just went straight, you get the same amount. So you're safe either way. You have a thigh swivel, rotates more forward inward than it does outward. And we have a double joint. But because of our leg design, where our armor meets right at the top, you won't get that full tuck in, but it's totally fine. We get super generous ankle pivot because we're on a ball joint with no hindrances that can rotate all the way around and through. So let's test that up as I sit here and get my ball joint stuck. I want to see if my main man can do the pre-royal flush, right? So we're not going to be able to cross the arms completely. Oh, no, maybe we will. Maybe we will. So, you know, we technically, oh man, our Marvel vs. Capcom days are indeed numbered. Look at this. We're definitely going to be able to hit the royal flush. We're going to put cards in our hands. We're going to be able to hit that. So this is going to be fantastic as we hit tons of poses with our MAFEX Gambit. Look at this. Like a thief in the night. This is an utterly fantastic figure, and it may not be for everyone, and that's fine too, because some people are going to enjoy the aesthetic of other figures, whether it's going to be Revolve Tech or Mezco and things like that. But I gotta say, man, this is all around looking fantastic so far. Now, and by the way, I didn't really open it up before this. I am literally going through this with everyone. This isn't on the fly because I actually am really strapped for time as of late. So please, you know, bear with me. And I'm sorry that I can't get more in depth for more people. I'm just trying to cover what I can in a little bit of time that I have. So I apologize. So here we are with our alternate sculpt. I think this one came out a little bit softer than I like, but it's still pretty much spot on. You know what I mean? It's better than when you get sculpts where it's just, oh, you know, we're going to look to the side. I like that we're getting gritting teeth and we still have our red eyes. The hair swept over still looks just as good. So this is actually a really, really good hair sculpt. Luscious, thick hair, right? So now that we have that, we're going to go over the rest of our accessories. Next up, we will get Gambit's staff. This is really cool. Gambit staff is always pretty solid. I don't think you could really mess that up. But what they did was they actually went a further mile and gave you the part where he adds kinetic energy to the end of the staff. I've just alternated it, but you can actually have it flowing the same way as well too. And it looks really good on the staff, right? So you could do the staff slash. This was, I believe, when you did it with Gambit in Marvel vs. Capcom, it was the Shoryuken motion. Forward, down, forward. And you, ha, 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 3 hits. You will also get 2 kinetic cards for holding. We'll get to the hands in a second. You'll get a throwing card with kinetic energy. You will now go over the hands. So let's do that. In our hands, we have our staff holding hands. Looking real good. You will have your semi-relaxed hands. Oop, let's change that. There we go. And I like the fact that the fingerless gloves in the middle for him holding cards so they don't cause too much friction or add too much kinetic energy. We have our open action hands, right? And then now we have card holding hands. Now, with these card holding hands, as you've seen earlier, you'll get it to where you can hold the cards like so. Or in this hand, when you're throwing it like so. So that's how you're gonna, ooh, sorry about that. This is how you're gonna alternate these two. And it's weird too, because I'm guessing this from looking at the back of the box, because mine is missing instructions. Usually I go over the instructions, try to make sure I'm not crazy. And damn, under lighting, this look really good. God damn, that look good. So yeah, now we have these special hands. Now these are your open action hands, and you'll see a clear peg underneath the hands. There's no way you're gonna hide that completely, but these hands are used for these gigantic card effects that we have. This is utterly amazing. Like, this is a very large card effect. They simply wanted to make sure that this is going to be able to carry the weight. And it does, because if you had tried to attach this to the hand, I don't think if it would have worked your way. And I'm not sure how much weight this is going to carry on the figure. So let's test it out actually right here, right now, and see if our arm can actually hold the weight of this figure. And if not, that's going to test my new theory that I have for it. So in a downward pose, no problem, right? We hold our arm up. So wait, let me move my hand. No, see, that's what I was worried about. Now, basically, let's see what happens if we do it when we put the hand in the middle. See, I didn't think so. And that's where we're going to have one of our issues. It's going to beat this weight issue, right? Now, let's take this hand off. This is what leads to this. You're actually going to get stands to hold up your cards for obvious reasons. Should your cards not want to hold for whatever reasons, you'll get some stands to help you add on those effects, because this is the much larger effect for the hand. Now let's take this one off. You see the one with triple cards, the much larger charged kinetic shot. And then we have the lessened, the weaker kinetic shot, right? I believe because this one is significantly lighter, he should be able to hold this one. And yes, I was right. Because it's lighter, this one, he should be able to hold it. But going across, that's going to be a problem, as you can see here. So you're definitely going to do more aerial shots to help you balance it out, as it's already aiming down, if you're going to do some photography with that. But holding him going across, there's too much weight. That's what the stands are for. But man, otherwise, I think this came out really great. I think that they made it so that they knew what was going to happen. It couldn't hold the weight because it is a very solid piece. And they tried to find an alternative, and I'm okay with that. I know some people may not like the fact that it can't hold it, but I'm totally fine with that. I think that was a really nice alternative for them to add, and I like where that went. Now, one more thing I want to do before we go anywhere is that I want to test the jacket from the Mezco on this guy, just to see what to help out everybody who wants to know what it looks like, because I'm curious myself, right? Let's see how it looks, because I actually like the stock jacket a lot, but I am very curious as to where we're going to get with the Mezco jacket. And I think this looks a little too bulky, like a little too big, because the Mezco one is actually I believe he's much taller, right? Let's put some hands on it. That'll give us a better look of what we got going. Let's take a look, see. Actually, this don't look terrible. I think it looks a little too broad in the shoulders, but this does not look terrible. No, I'm wrong. It's too broad of a shoulder thing, but not bad. You could probably get away with it, but right now I'm having some mixed feelings about it. But I do like the stock jacket. Now, I'm going to take all of this off. I'm going to put back on the stock jacket, and then we are going to get ourselves into a very nice size comparison. So I will see you guys in a second. Hey, now we're going to jump into the size comparison. This is where it gets a little fun for everyone, because you get to mix and match, have a good time. First thing I want to do is compare it to its Mezco counterpart. Unfortunately, my Revolve Tech was broken, so I can't use him. But here we are with the Mezco one. And as I stated before, the Mezco is significantly taller, almost a whole head taller. But personally, I think both look good. One is a nice modern rendition that you can use as an excellent piece. My only gripe with the Mezco one was that one main chest piece, which kind of hindered a lot of your articulation, whereas this one gives you a perfect blend of both, but it's stuck in the 90s. And that's okay, because the 90s were a great time for Gambit. It's very rare that he changed his outfit, and when he did, he only added a few pouches, and I believe that's pre-Uncanny X-Men moving to the West Coast, where, you know, everyone was in Utopia. And then there was the Age of X, and that's when he really started to do some costume changes. And now they're Mr. and Mrs. X. Now we have a huge costume change, but he still keeps the trench coat, and that's pretty cool. So it's nice that Gambit doesn't change too much over the years. That way he has almost a timeless look with very few updates, and that's pretty cool. So you can use him in pretty much any display you want. And that's the great part about it. Here is a Mezco cable. And we all know Cable is supposed to be ridiculously big for no apparent reason, but I think this actually works okay size-wise. I have to fix my ankle on that one. But now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, comparing a few other things. one of the main ones I wanted to do was Mr. Sinister. And the reason why I chose him for the size comparison is that Gambit's first appearance was getting one of those, I think it was the Journal of Nathaniel Essex, which is obviously Mr. Sinister. And it's cool because he has like this long drawn out history with him. And I love the fact that he looks really imposing with the MAFEX one, especially when, you know, you could be blackmailing people like he did with Gambit. More importantly, here is his wife, Rogue, in our Marvel Legends format, which I'm hoping that we really do get one in MAFEX. It'll be really, really cool. So this is her 90s costume. Let's move her around so she can get a little bit closer to him. Then you can see those together, right? But in case you don't have that one and you want to do a modern one, here is the modern costume Rogue, which, you know, she goes back and forth with this costume now. And this one looks pretty good with that as well. Next up, we'll do the MAFEX Cyclops and Wolverine. There's that combo. So here we are with these two. And they look really good. So I think that we got something truly different with Gambit. Because with Cyclops, we have like that Jim Lee body, right? Which is like the overly muscular, the wide shoulders, where Gambit is more slick and more chill. That Mark Silvestri design. That Larson. And here we are with the MAFEX gang so far. Next up is going to be Psylocke. So I'm eager to see what they're going to do with that, because MAFEX has really been killing it as of late. Now we're going to compare some... Ooh, Cyclops lost his head. Now we're going to compare with some other stuff. So here is Colossus. We want to put our big boy in there because you want to be able to mix and match your teams. And I think that MAFEX actually complements the Marvel Legends stuff really well. Here is a Marvel Legends Cyclops. And like I said, this 90s Gambit kind of just fits in, especially if you're reading a lot of the stuff now. Oh, what's up with your ankle, bro? So I'm going to have him in an awkward position. Here we are with a Marvel Legends Wolverine. As you can see, he really does fit in the display. No matter how which way you put it or do it, he's there, right? Now we're going to have some fun mixing in some other stuff. So here is a Mythic Legions Purplore. Here's an Articulated Icons Sensei. A little bit on the smaller side, right? We have a Lightning Collection White Ranger. And as you can see, Gambit fits well with both domestic and import so far. Here we are with an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. And these guys are going to be really small compared to the MAFEX stuff. Then we have a G.I. Joe Flint. I think that about covers... Oh, we have a Mezco to cover. Forgot all about you for a second. And I know we covered it with Cable and Gambit, but here is Blade, in case you want to do a non-X-Men related one. So yeah, it's been fun, man. This has been really fun. I'm hoping I can get a lot of photos in. Not sure that's going to be the case, but I'm really hoping to get a bunch of cool photos in. Hopefully you guys will enjoy. I hope that you're all doing well, for real. I hope that you're having a good week so far. I hope September's been good to you. Be good to everyone, including yourself. Have some tea in the morning, and make sure you drink your water at night. As always, guys, please be good, do good. Drink your water, guys.